Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It is the first day of August, August 1st, 2012, Wednesday, approximately 11:30 in Honolulu, 5:30 in New York City, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. Following a FOMC meeting and announcement with no real new action of any kind of quantitative easing, any kind of factor premium that went into the market last week has abruptly come out. We have the metals markets under pressure this morning with cash gold trading at 1600 and below. Currently, as you can see, 1598. It's there between that and about 1600, putting it off about $14 to $15 on the day. Low 1591, high 1619. Silver also under pressure this morning, trading off about 56 cents. As you can see, current print 27.36. It has had a low of 27.03 and a high of 28.18. Traders, we talked about yesterday that on a technical basis, we have easily identified this one area of, call it 1630, 1635, in which the market, quite honestly, was unable to trade above. We can see, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that at one point at the beginning of the year, this price point was fairly supportive. When it broke through this price point, it traded to really a support level that can be characterized as an upward slope. In other words, we have had a series of higher lows. However, we have not been able to take this particular top out. You can see the number of times that it is tested. Here's 3 times between May and July, and this most current time, which is what we're witnessing right now. As I said, the marketplace itself is currently trading just around $16, roughly in that area. And the lack of any new information out of the Fed in terms of any kind of quantitative easing program and the fact that we will keep interest rates low gave strength to the dollar. And of course, that strength to the dollar can be translated to weakness in the precious metals market, specifically gold. Now, we do have the ECB meeting, and that is scheduled tomorrow. That could also have a push-pull effect on the metals, because if they come out with quantitative easing that decreases the value of the euro dollar, that's going to again increase the value of the dollar and could be a bearish tone on the precious metals market, specifically gold. Traders, one thing that I do find interesting, and that is the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC meeting, actually downgraded their outlook right now on the U.S. economy. And the words that they used to me were quite stern. They said that economic activity had decelerated. And, you know, previously, when we look at what had been said, they said that the economy was expanding only very moderately. In other words, it was expanding, but at a very, very slow pace. This is to me, 180-degree turn to the south. This is a real negative statement. And at the same time, while they maintained their belief and their pledge, so to speak, that they're going to keep interest rates low, they really didn't take any other type of action that could be construed as a bullish sentiment in terms of kickstarting the economy. Traders, on a technical basis, when we look at a very short-term chart, that's exactly what we're looking at right now, a 60-minute chart, August gold, we can easily identify and see these series of tops that we have, 1625 to 1630 right up in this area. And then we can also identify this psychological point. This is about 1600 right in here, call it 1599 to 1600. You can see that we have some supportive activity, a series of tops where the market did act as resistance. Market comes down. This is 1555, 1565. We had some supportive price action right in this area. We have had absolutely some very, very strong resistance in this area. And right now, traders, to be quite honest with you, we're absolutely at mid-range in the market in terms of the recent support and resistance levels. What do I mean by that? Well, if we get any kind of bearish sentiment tomorrow coming out of the European Union, and I say bearish sentiment, I'm referring to bearish sentiment in terms of how the precious metals markets react, we could see the market actually go back and test a couple of these areas. 1585 for one would be the first area that I would look for it to test. If we get any kind of bullish news that comes out, meaning affecting the precious metals markets on the bullish side, I would look to go see the market go back up and possibly even test this area. I'm not trying to say that this is a roll of the dice, but what I am saying is, without knowledge of what types of fundamental statements will come out of the ECB meeting, I can only postulate, I can only gather assumptions on what effect it might have, both bullish as well as bearish, so we can see where the market might possibly go. Now, we did pull profits, slight profits again in our positions. My sentiment is I want to position ourselves for if and when this market makes a big sizable move, but at the same time, this market's been under pressure and we have issued trades that are profitable, and I want to continue keeping it within those guidelines. Silver, very much the same scenario in terms of finding support and finding resistance. Let's go ahead and blow this up. We absolutely were able to identify different levels of support and different levels of resistance. Obviously, on the low side, 26, that has been very, very supportive of gold. We can see that there. But also just above $28, as you can see that right in here, this is where our last top came in right in here. And it does match on a historical basis to resistance that we had at the beginning of last month, at the beginning of July. Once again, it took it out. But look at the actual low that it had on the day and the fact that it was able to close really so far off of the low and drive the market back up. This type of candlestick itself is simply known as a hammer if it's found after a sell-off, a hangman at the top of the market. It's part of the umbrella groups of candlesticks and represents consolidation in the market. That's something that we'll just have to see as this market trades throughout the month of August. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.